Remember, Simi, no one here can know I am royalty. You must appear to be no different than the average man.
In 1988, Eddie Murphy walked off a plane in Queens and quietly rewrote what a Hollywood comedy could look like. One actor, 4 characters, a fake African kingdom, and $288 million on a $36 million budget.
Oh my goodness, it is you! Greetings, Your Highness!
But behind the fairy tale was a director-star feud, a teenage choreographer, a courtroom battle that exposed how every studio in Hollywood cooks its books, and a barbershop full of people who weren't really there.
I know you have been inconvenienced, and I'm prepared to compensate you.
Here are 15 shocking facts about coming to America. Stick around for number 15 because that one didn't just embarrass Paramount, it changed Hollywood forever. Hit subscribe so the next deep dive lands in your feed. Number 1, Eddie Murphy played 4 roles and Jesse Jackson didn't catch a single one. Murphy had never played more than 1 character in a film. Coming to America changed that. Under Rick Baker's Oscar-nominated makeup, he became 4 people: Akeem, Clarence the barber, Saul the elderly Jewish customer, and Randy Watson, lead singer of Sexual Chocolate. Murphy loves telling the story of running into Reverend Jesse Jackson, who pulled him aside to thank him for casting so many older black actors in the barbershop scene. Murphy had to break the news. There were no older black actors. It was just him under the prosthetics. Jackson said he'd have to go watch the movie again. Number 2, Arsenio Hall also played a woman, and almost nobody noticed. Arsenio pulled the same trick. He played Semi, Reverend Brown, Morris the second barber, and one more nobody saw coming. The woman in the Queen's dive bar, credited as extremely ugly girl.
I've been watching you all evening, and I want to tear you apart.
The one who tries to seduce Semi with a story about her grandmother and sailors. That's Arsenio. Full prosthetics, full voice, full commitment. He sat in the makeup chair for hours, and the cast watched him pull it off without cracking once. Number 3, Cuba Gooding Jr. made his film debut, and his scene got cut. Look at the kid in the barbershop chair the first time Akeem walks in.
I'm just saying I stopped liking Cassius Clay once he changed the name to Muhammad Ali. What kind of shit is that?
That's Cuba Gooding Jr., his first time on a movie screen. He originally had a real moment. His character admits he can't pay Clarence for the cut, and Clarence shaves a bald patch into his head as revenge. The scene was shot, edited, and deleted. Gooding was crushed. 8 years later, he won the Oscar for Jerry Maguire. The bald patch never made it. The kid in the chair did. But before we keep going, I need to tell you something real quick. My son bet me I'd never hit 1,000 subscribers. He says I'm too old for YouTube and that nobody wants to watch a guy my age. So if this video is helping you out, hit that subscribe button and help me shut him up at the dinner table. All right, let's get back to it. Number 4, Samuel L. Jackson's big break was robbing McDowell's. He's on screen for under 2 minutes. He bursts in with a shotgun, screams at the fat man behind the counter.
Take the money out! All of it! Don't stall me, fat boy. Let's go! Come on!
And gets quietly disarmed by a busboy prince. That's Samuel L. Jackson, years before Pulp Fiction, years before Mace Windu. He and Murphy were old friends, and this was one of his earliest big screen appearances. Watch it knowing what came after, and it plays like the audition tape for his entire career. Number 5. Paula Abdul was 18 when she choreographed the royal wedding. The opulent palace dance, the rose petal procession, the synchronized court ladies, all of it was built by a teenager who was still a Lakers cheerleader. Abdul had choreographed a Janet Jackson video, which is how Landis heard her name. She showed up to her meeting with a briefcase containing nothing but VHS tapes of her Laker routines and the Janet videos, Forever Your Girl, the album that turned her into a pop superstar, wouldn't drop for another year. She built one of the most iconic dance sequences of the 80s before anyone knew her name. Number 6. The Soul Glow jingle is Nile Rodgers' proudest moment. Seriously. Let Your Soul Glow. That greasy headrest staining jingle was composed by Nile Rodgers.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through.
The founder of Chic, the man behind Le Freak, We Are Family, Like a Virgin, Let's Dance, and Get Lucky. 500 million records sold. And Rodgers has joked, with a straight face, that the Soul Glow jingle is the proudest moment of his career. One of the most successful producers in music history, and the thing fans ask him to sing first is a fake hair care commercial. Number 7. The two homeless men are the Duke brothers from Trading Places. When Akeem hands a bag of money to two old men on a stoop, one looks up and says, "Mortimer, we're back."
Mortimer, we're back.
Those men are Randolph and Mortimer Duke, the same billionaire villains who tried to ruin Murphy's life in 1983's Trading Places. Ralph Bellamy and Don Amige reprised the roles. John Landis directed both films and snuck them back in as a quiet revenge gag. The Dukes lost everything betting against Murphy in 1983. 5 years later, a different Murphy character hands them back their fortune. A snippet of the Trading Places score even plays underneath the scene. Number 8. The director and the star nearly came to blows. John Landis directed Murphy on Trading Places when Murphy was a kid on the rise. 5 years later, Murphy was the most powerful comedian on earth, with an entourage and a security detail. The two collided hard. Landis later called Murphy, in his words, the pig of the world, on this shoot. Murphy fired back that Landis kept trying to direct him like he was still that 22-year-old kid. Tensions reportedly turned into a physical altercation. They didn't speak for years. The warmest fairy tale of Murphy's career was made by two men who couldn't stand to be in the same trailer. Number 9. James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair became Mufasa and Sarabi 6 years later. Jones is King Jaffe. Sinclair is the Queen. Their chemistry as Akeem's parents is part of why Zamunda feels real. 6 years later, Disney called them both. Jones became the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. Sinclair became Sarabi. Royal African parents to a young heir in 1988, and royal African parents to a young heir again in 1994, this time as lions. Disney never officially acknowledged the reunion, but everyone who watched both movies clocked it. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe so the next deep dive doesn't get buried in the algorithm. Drop your favorite line from this movie in the comments. All right, back to Zamunda. Number 10. Sidney Poitier was the first choice for King Jaffe. It's hard to imagine this movie without James Earl Jones, but producers were seriously considering Sidney Poitier, the man who broke Hollywood's color barrier and won Best Actor in 1964. Poitier was at the tail end of his on-camera career and didn't take the part. Jones stepped in and made it one of the most quoted comedic father performances of the decade. Picture Poitier on the throne instead. The entire tone of the movie shifts. Number 11. Louis Anderson was cast because the studio demanded a white actor. Louis Anderson plays Maurice at McDowell's, the gentle white employee who shows Akeem how to mop. According to Murphy, the studio refused to greenlight a comedy with an all-black cast and ordered him to add a white actor somewhere. Murphy brought in Anderson, who was a friend from the stand-up circuit. He kept the role small enough not to derail the story. A crew full of brilliant black performers, and the only condition the studio cared about was a white man holding a mop. Number 12. Queens isn't really Queens. Most of it is Brooklyn. The whole premise is that Akeem chose Queens because it sounded royal. He arrives in Queens, he lives in Queens, he falls in love in Queens. Problem is, most of those locations are actually Brooklyn. The apartment is in Williamsburg. The barbershop is in Brooklyn. Several subway scenes are Brooklyn.
Behold, Simi, life, real life.
The only major exterior actually shot in Queens was McDowell's, planted on Queens Boulevard for the address gag. For nearly 40 years, audiences have associated this movie with the wrong borough. Number 13. Family is hidden all over this movie. The drunk tenant who tumbles down the stairs of Akeem's building is Ray Murphy Sr., Eddie's real uncle. The man standing in front of Akeem in the basketball bathroom line is Vernon Lynch, Eddie's stepbrother. The street vendor who recognizes Akeem at the basketball game is Vondi Curtis Hall, Arsenio's brother. Landis tucked his friends in too. Horror legend Tobe Hooper, the director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, has a quiet cameo at the McDowell's party. The film is a family album disguised as a romantic comedy. Number 14. A weekly Coming to America sitcom was filmed and then buried. After the movie cleared nearly $300 million, CBS wanted in. They built a pilot starring Tommy Davidson as Prince Tariq, Akeem's troublemaking younger brother sent to college at Queens College. The writer behind Different Strokes ran the project. The pilot was filmed, CBS declined to order a series, and they quietly burned it off on July 4th, 1989 as part of a summer anthology. Almost nobody saw it. It has rarely surfaced since. A whole alternate universe TV version of this story exists, locked away. Number 15. The lawsuit that followed cracked open the entire studio system. In 1982, a humorist named Art Buchwald wrote a 2-page treatment called King for a Day. A spoiled African king arrives in America, loses his memory, and ends up working in a ghetto fast food restaurant before reclaiming his throne. Sound familiar? Buchwald sold it to Paramount, who attached Murphy, kicked it around for years, and let it die. 2 years later, Coming to America hit theaters. Buchwald sued. In 1990, a California court ruled that the movie was, in fact, based on his treatment. Then came the absurd part. The court asked Paramount to pay Buchwald his share of net profits. Paramount opened the books and announced that a film that earned roughly $300 million on a $36 million budget had somehow lost $18 million and produced zero net profit. The judge looked at that math and ruled the entire formula unconscionable. The case settled in 1995 and gave the world a phrase still used today. Hollywood accounting. It's now taught in entertainment law classes. It exposed how studios hide profits behind fees they charge themselves. The sequel, Coming to America, quietly thanked Buchwald's estate in the credits. He never got a screenwriter credit, but he handed every writer who came after him a flashlight to point at the studio's books. That's 15 facts behind Coming to America. Which one got you the hardest? Drop it in the comments, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this with whoever in your life still quotes sexual chocolate. Until next time, keep watching.